Okay, we're back with relationship coach Matt Townsend. We asked you a little bit earlier. We said, what are some things to do so that spouses who might not share the same interests can come together? We invited some of our viewers to write in some questions.
I've been practicing my golf swing during the commercial breaks.
And you got some matching shirts.
Yes, we're coordinated. We're ready to go. No, but we got some great viewer questions.
Yeah, the first one right here. Your show helped me today to know that I'm doing the right thing. This is from Valine Benson. She said, my husband is a ham radio operator. She says he loves his hobby, and this weekend is a convention at Ruby's Inn at Bryce Canyon. He'll be in seminars for 2 days and doing some radio games. My granddaughter is turning 13 on Friday, and we won't be here, so I don't want to go, but I have found some things to take with me to do, so I'm going. Your show helped me this morning know I'm doing the right thing. Isn't that good?
You know, I think it's great. I mean, again, what do we want long term? The big question is, what do you want 10 years from now? In your relationship, what do you want it to look like? Because at some point, you got to know, in the end, if we want to be together and spend time together, what we do right now is going to determine what we will be doing with each other in 10 years. So she may sacrifice a granddaughter's birthday party. You know, there's phones. There's stuff she can do with a granddaughter before, but I think it's good. It's good to be with your partner.
Good to support. Another success story came from Paige. She writes, I just wanted to let everyone know how great my husband is. I decided to sell gourmet cupcakes, and when I told my husband, he said, that's great. He went downstairs an hour later, came back up with labels for my cupcake boxes and said he ordered a little book that I can put pictures in. Now my business has started. He gives me great ideas, makes me happy, and I know that it isn't boring to him. So another success story there that's good to hear.
And notice the key to that is just he's putting her as a priority. He's making her important, and he's making cupcakes important to him because they're important to her. That's all people want. I've honestly found that's all we want in our relationships is to know that we matter. Yeah. We matter enough that he would actually take some of his time in his head, some of his energy, and go think about something that was important to her. Makes a huge difference.
Of all things.
Cupcakes.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Which is almost the equivalent of scrapbooking, because it's sort of a, you know.
Darren's not going to let this go, Matt.
You can't eat a scrapbook, Paige. Hello?
Darren's going to keep bringing this back until you,
it is sort of like a frou-frou-y kind of a thing that would really be more,
it's totally frou-frou-y.
But you're right. It's
I don't know what that word means, but it is, and it fits. But cupcakes are edible.
Yeah, so you can get into that. Okay, yeah. Megan wrote in. This is actually a really good question here, okay? She says, Matt mentioned today the concept of trying something at least 3 times before you give up on something. She says, my mind went directly to something that I've refused to try with my husband. He plays a computer game. He's been playing it for a long time now, and I don't want to play it. It monopolizes a lot of time. She says, so, should I change my thinking, or am I right in trying to do other things to keep him away from the game?
This is a hard one for me.
This is huge. Yeah. Because this is like the quintessential issue of time waster. Okay, and there's just like no obviously redeeming thing about video games for when they're dividing a partnership. Question is, her question is, so am I doing the right thing? Just check the results she's getting. Is she getting closer to him? Or is she getting more distance from him? So here's an example that I've had a couple do, where she hated that he played video games, but he needed his hour every night. But when they were first dating, they used to always play video games together. And then all of a sudden she matured, and he didn't, and they quit doing it. But they actually have a deal where they'll play a video game for 30 to 40 minutes a night, but they do it together. And they actually have fun games around it, even games about being intimate, depending on who wins. And things like that.
There's a competition.
So I like that kind of game.
By the way, that's one way to keep them involved.
Yeah.
But I guess when we get into this, part of this, again, it just comes down to what do you want most? If you want your partner to change, and they know you want them to change, generally, especially when a man's concerned, we're not going to want to just change. If you don't like me the way I am, then I might dig in a little deeper and try to even rebel just against your gentle push. What I would try to do is be on his side, get in the video games, not as deeply as he is, try to bargain with him, try to understand that you need to do stuff for him, he needs to do stuff for you.
So it's fair to expect the same in return.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's also normal for her to feel frustrated by this. This isn't just perfectly healthy that he's doing this every night, especially if it's hours on hours on hours. But at some point, we have to get the results with each other, not against each other. The minute we turn the video game in, we put it in between us, now we're fighting, and we have something in between us. What I usually would try to do is take the game and put it out there so that we get closer together, so we're looking at the game almost the same way.
Together, looking forward.
And then we might be able to have a better view together of other things we could do. and start to create change. Generally, our tendency is to make it come between us. Our kids come between us all the time. Our job comes between us all the time. My view when I coach couples is let it sit out there. Let us try to understand. Let me try to understand, what is it you love about video games so much? You're going to find out a lot of this is about escaping. A lot of it's about fantasy and not having to deal with reality.
Yeah.
A lot of it's just about brainless activity. And I think the more you can understand it and even find some parts of it you might enjoy, I think if you'd play with them a little bit, it might give you more power to influence him to do other things. I can't guarantee it, but I also know fighting him about it, it's not going to work.
It's not going to get anywhere.
It's just going to drive him back to the video game.
Right.
See, that's why we love Matt, because I was sure you were going to say, Megan, you're doing the right thing, don't waste your time with a computer game, but your whole point is, what are your results, and what do you want to have happen? And that's
as a father, that's what I would say. Get off the video game. But as a coach, I'm going to say, what do you want long term?
That's the idea I love, is looking long term, what you're building for the future.
And we don't have to have the games off today, but if our goal's in 3 years, let's work it slowly.
Yeah.
But let's infiltrate the enemy.
Okay. Get in there.
That's all there is to it.
I love it. Matt, thank you so much. Good questions. Thanks to everybody who wrote in. And just a reminder, you can listen to Matt every Saturday morning on KSL Radio.
Thanks, Matt. Differently, because I'm not really into the color coordination thing like my wife is. Are there things that you really like or that Brandon likes to do that you don't like to do?
You know, we share, I mean, there's some things we share and come together on, but I think there's the common, I like shopping and scrapbooking. Musicals, I don't know. He likes the golfing. You know what I mean? He's really into pictures too, which I'm trying to pick up on. So there are those dividing issues that we just don't share.
Yeah, but you've told us he won't let you use the camera, though.
It's his. It's his camera. What about you? Do you guys share common interests?
We like a lot of things together, but then my wife she likes really organizing things. She likes to, and as you probably know, I'm not the best.
You? I really need to bring a picture of Darren's desk one day. I really do. At least send one to your wife.
Yeah, she wouldn't be surprised at all. Anyway, there are some things that husbands like, the wives don't really like, wives like, the husbands don't really like. So this month we're encouraging you to go where you've never been before, and that could be to a golf course or a shopping mall, depending on who you are. How can you embrace the activities that your spouse loves and make the best of it? Matt Townsend is a relationship coach. Matt, what is the secret here so that you can do things that...
He's already thinking.
So that, spouses don't really like the same things. How can they come together and like that?
This is the easiest answer, and it's based on our earlier discussion about sharing clothes. I would dress exactly alike. I'd get matching shirts and tops, and because I feel if you dress alike, you're going to feel closer.
I can see you.
That's all I got.
I don't know, a paisley pink shirt. No. I don't know, I'm seeing it.
Isn't it? Segment up right there. Okay. No.
Wrap it up. No, if it could be that easy, we'd all be doing it, right? But it's not that easy. One of the big principles I feel of long-term relationships, if you want them to last, they've got to be mutually beneficial. And I think that just simply means we both have to be benefiting in every activity. Like if, for example, you wanted to torture your partner by taking him scrapbooking, let's just say.
Matt.
Let's find.
We've got to find, by the way, you know what I call scrapbooking?
Let's hear it.
The devil's workshop. I think,
You would.
no, honestly, Brooke, idle hands are probably better than that.
Oh, I'm not hearing
I'm
this.
not getting to where I need to go. So here's the deal. We got to have it mutually beneficial. And what I found, for example, a lot of times we'll do something that one party likes to do, like my wife likes to walk. And I actually like going walking with her, but sometimes when we go walking, it turns into like a review of the relationship, like a relationship breakdown conversation.
A DPR, if you will.
A DPR, if you want to go there. And so what I kind of think is if you want to make it last long term, mutually beneficial, meaning it's got to benefit her and it's got to benefit me. We've both got to be benefiting. If not, one of us is eventually going to opt out of the relationship. Same thing goes on with Taco Bell. Taco Bell has to benefit from us. We have to benefit from Taco Bell, or we won't be in business with them long term, right?
So think of your relationship like a taco.
Think of your relationship like a business relationship.
Yes.
Second rule is, though, you've got to make it about priorities, not parties. This isn't about always having fun. Sometimes this is about just having our partner become a priority. On my radio show, I have a radio show that we'll plug sometime through this, like right now.
11 o'clock
KSL, 11 o'clock on Saturday.
Matt Townsend show, right?
Matt Townsend show,
yes,
so that's mine. And one of the things we talked about is, what's the secret? What is it that women want? And you know what? We figured it out.
Did you? Please.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm on the edge of my seat for this here, Matt.
Too late. You got to watch the show. Listen to the show.
How dare!
Because, no, but one thing they did say is, I just want to know I'm a priority.
Yeah.
All I want to know is that you care enough to put me in as a priority. So I do a lot of things. Like, for example, I played Barbies with my daughter growing up, and not once did I really want to play Barbies.
Are you sure?
Yeah. And but I played it. You know why? Because I took the activity and I elevated its priority based on the importance of my daughter.
So it became about your daughter.
My
not
daughter
about
was my priority, not the Barbies. So it's a really important rule is it's not about the party. It's not about how fun we're having. It's about making our partner a priority. So one thing I would do is at that party, keep your partner close. Wherever you are with them, make them close, make it about them. See it as a way to serve them.
Because hopefully you like them.
Yeah.
I mean, you like being with them and doing things with them regardless of what those things
exactly
are.
Right.
Barbies
And remember, one of the things you're eventually going to do is you're all going to grow old together, and as we grow older, we're probably going to have more time together. I honestly believe if we're not used to making time with each other, we're not going to be able to or want to be together when we do have time. Third rule is try it 3 times. Basic rule is try anything 3 times in the relationship before you discount it. It's too easy in our marriages and our relationships to just kind of get used to not liking something and then we just separate and we no longer do it together. Or we try it a couple times and it's not working for us, so we quit.
So just out of curiosity, how many times have you tried scrapbooking?
16.
Okay.
And I was hospitalized 3 times.
Oh.
Then I decided to quit.
Fine.
So try anything 3 times. The 4th rule is make it about togetherness, not about time management. One time I was out on a date with my wife, and for efficiency's sake, I saw that we were going to a movie, so we didn't have to talk. And I was pulling up into the front, and I saw there was a long line. So I'm like, hon, I'm just going to drop you out. You get in line, and I'll go park. Highly efficient.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, we're here to be together. And so you're just going to park, and then together we'll park, and together we'll walk, and together we'll stand in line.
So it's about togetherness, not time management.
Yes.
Your wife who said that? See, I thought it was a brilliant idea of your side. You know, you're viewing the time.
I wanted to drop her off. Part of it's because in our relationships, we get so used to trying to divide and conquer, make everything work, split everything up, especially when we have kids, that we kind of forget that it's about togetherness, not efficiency. Okay? And the last rule, what is it?
Focus on your partner's pleasure,
not your pain.
There you go.
One of the biggest problems is when we're at a party or something we don't like or going somewhere, or like let's say your husband loves to golf and you just don't want to golf.
Matt, you're looking at me.
Does your husband love to golf?
You think?
Let's talk about that. But if your husband loves to golf, Brooke, and you don't like to, you might want to just go have fun driving the cart and find something you like to do with him, just so you're together, but focus on what makes it pleasurable for you. Sometimes the pleasure just comes from seeing how happy your partner is. And you might want to get into them and find out, why is it you love golfing so much? What is it about golfing that makes you so happy? And literally get into them. See it as an act of service, a way to lift, a way to make your partner feel better.
See, I had a great idea for you, Brooke. You could go around with a camera and take pictures of him in scrapbook, but he probably wouldn't let you use the camera, though, would he?
If I got permission to use the camera, we'd be in good shape.
Maybe we need our own camera.
Maybe. You're a genius.
See? That's why I'm a
genius.
coach.
Stamped across your forehead.
I'm here for you.
No, really great tips. Great tips. They are on our website, and we're going to keep you around to answer some viewer questions. Is that okay?
Yeah, I'd love it.
If you have relationship questions, maybe things that you like to do your spouse doesn't, or have you had some success in that area, send us an email. We're going to be back with Matt a little later on in the show to answer those questions.
Yeah, we don't want to hear you picking on Matt's opinions on scrapbooking.
Yeah.
That we don't want to.
Or you can.
Yeah, you can do that too, yeah. If you have questions for Matt, you're not going to email us. You want to call him and get a hold of him separately, you can go to their website, or if a phone number, you can get a hold of him at Marriage Matters, stressedmarriage.com. And of course, there's right there the Matt Townsend Show, your very own radio show. How is that, you know?
Big league.
Saturday
You're
at 11 o'clock.
You are it.
Scares me.
Okay, back with Matt later on.